What if civilization collapses in the next 72 hours and the screen you're looking at right now is about to go permanently black? If you still have signal, do one thing real quick. Hit like and subscribe. 2 seconds of your life right now could push this video to someone who needs it tomorrow when there's no tomorrow left. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. The first 72 hours won't look like Mad Max. It'll look like Black Friday forever, except the doors never open again and the police never show up. 99% of people will die in that window, not because they get shot or eaten by zombies, but because every single one of them runs to the same 5 places every prepper forum, a very TV show, and every government pamphlet told them we're safe. National parks, gun stores, Costco, military bases, and rural cabins. Every one of those turns into a meat grinder the second wave arrives. I'm going somewhere else. And if you listen for the next 12 minutes, you'll know exactly where that is. Let me paint the timeline so it's burned into your brain. Hour 0. The grid drops nationwide. Phones still work on battery. Generators are humming. People are laughing nervously on social media. Hour 2. Gas stations have lines 2 miles long. Pumps start clicking empty. First fistfights over the last tank. Hour 6. Supermarkets are empty shelves and broken glass. Tourists reported home invasions for food. Hour 12. Interstates are parking lots. First fires visible from downtown rooftops because someone tried to cook indoors with charcoal. Hour 24. Roving groups with shopping carts and baseball bats start door-to-door sweeps in suburbs. Hour 48. The screaming starts. That's the soundtrack of the obvious places. That's why I'm gone in the first 90 minutes, while most people are still arguing with their spouse about whether this is really happening. 1 tank of gas, 1 pre-planned route on back roads, and I'm 20 miles away in the commercial dead zone that surrounds every American city like a concrete moat nobody ever notices. You've driven past my first pick 1,000 times and never registered it. The cluster of 200,000, 400,000 square foot distribution centers just off the interstate. Walmart, Amazon, Target, doesn't matter. They all look the same from the highway. Beige, tilt-up concrete, a dozen loading docks, semi-trailers parked nose to tail, and 1 lonely security light. What nobody realizes is that those trailers are usually locked to the dock plates. 1 heavy chain and a padlock from the hardware store, and you just created a steel wall nobody is moving without a blowtorch and a lot of noise. Inside, you've got pallet racking 25 feet high, loaded with enough canned goods, paper products, and bottled water to supply a platoon for months. The roof gives you line of sight for 3 to 5 miles in every direction, perfect for spotting dust clouds long before anyone gets close. But the real jackpot is almost always the building next door. The overflow warehouse or return center that runs at 10 to 20% capacity. I'm talking cavernous empty space, 2-foot thick walls, steel fire doors that weigh 800 pounds each, and skylights high enough that no light leaks out at night. Most of them have a second-floor mezzanine office with tinted windows overlooking the entire floor. Instant watchtower. I've walked through dozens of these places after hours. You could hide a battalion in there, and nobody outside would ever know. And then there are the retail corpses. The roughly 2,500 abandoned Kmart, Sears, Circuit City, and big box shells still sitting vacant across the country. Solid roofs, intact plumbing, roll-up doors you can drop and barricade with the mountain of unsold merchandise still on pallets in the back. The garden center alone is usually 15,000 square feet of chain-link fencing and steel posts you can turn into an inner keep. Electronic locks fail open the moment the grid dies, so you literally walk in like you own the place. While the mob is busy tearing apart the open supercenter 10 miles away, you're sipping bottled water from the vending machine nobody bothered to empty in 2019. Water is the silent killer everyone forgets until day 4 when their Brita runs dry. Rivers and lakes become shooting galleries. Bottled water in stores disappears in the first 6 hours. Here's what nobody talks about. Every commercial building over 50,000 square feet has at least 2 hidden water sources. First, the rooftop HVAC cooling towers, each holding 2,000 pounds, 12,000 gallons of treated, chemically balanced water that gets topped off weekly. Second, the fire sprinkler riser room, usually another 5,000 per 10,000 gallons sitting in pressurized tanks. That's enough clean water to keep 4 people alive for 3 to 6 months without ever leaving the building. I've tasted it right from the drain valve. It's heavily chlorinated, but it won't kill you like the creek everyone else is fighting over. Height is non-negotiable. Ground floor is death. Basements flood the instant the sump pumps lose power. You want the 2nd or 3rd floor of a concrete tilt-up with an internal stairwell you can block with 1 overturned vending machine or a stack of Goodyear tires from the abandoned auto center. Pull the extension ladder up behind you and the entire structure becomes a castle. From 30 feet up across an empty parking lot, you see movement long before they have any chance of seeing you. Noise discipline will end more lives than starvation. When the constant white noise of civilization disappears, sound carries insane distances at night. A cough echoes half a mile. A crying baby is a dinner bell for 2 miles. 1 dropped wrench on concrete sounds like a gunshot. That's why I'm bringing contractor-grade earplugs for everyone in my group and a roll of duct tape that isn't just for wounds. Harsh? Yes. Survival isn't daycare. Light is worse than noise. The human eye is hardwired to detect movement and light in total darkness. 1 phone screen, 1 headlamp, 1 struck match, and you might as well send up a flare. I pick buildings with battery-backed exit signs and emergency lighting that stays on for 72 hours. Those dim red letters become the only thing visible from the outside while I move in total darkness inside, using red-filtered light only when absolutely necessary. Smell is the 3rd invisible killer. Cooking smells, unburied waste, body odor, all travel farther than you think. Big box stores have industrial restrooms with 500-gallon chemical holding tanks and roof vents that push odors straight up and away. Sealed HVAC systems mean you can cook on a single-burner propane stove inside without the scent ever reaching the parking lot. Security isn't just barricades, it's psychology. The average looter is looking for easy wins, broken windows, open doors, signs of life. A building that looks dark, locked, and abandoned gets skipped every single time. I leave 1 or 2 shopping carts overturned in the parking lot and a couple of condemned signs I printed years ago. 9 out of 10 groups will keep moving rather than test a door that looks like it hasn't been opened since 2020. And the single biggest advantage anyone can have is timing. The best fortress in the world is useless if you arrive after the 2nd or 3rd wave. You have to be in position before the concept of looting even enters most people's minds. That means moving in the first golden hour while the majority is still in denial, still live tweeting the blackout, still lining up at ATMs that will never work again. By the time the highways are gridlocked and the first gunshots echo downtown. I'm already 25 miles away, doors chained, water checked, watching the distant glow of burning cities from a manager's office nobody ever thinks to look up at. When civilization falls in the next 72 hours, and make no mistake, it can, this is exactly where I'll be hiding while the masses sprint to their deaths in the places every forum told them were safe. These forgotten concrete boxes scattered across the American landscape are the real redoubts most people will drive past without a second glance. Now you know. Move before the herd wakes up. Stay invisible. Stay alive.